Government Business Notice Number 3, standing in the name of Ms Boothby to present the Gaming Control Amendment Community Benefit Fund Bill 2025, Serial 30.
Attorney General.
Madam Speaker, I present a bill titled Gaming Control Amendment Community Benefit Fund Bill 2025, Serial 30, and table the explanatory statement. Madam Speaker, I move the bill be read a first time. Madam Speaker, this bill will make amendments to the Gaming Control Act 1993, or the Act as I'll refer to it, to allow monies from the Community Benefit Fund, or the CBF, to be used to undertake capital works or improvements on a Northern Territory government asset, where that asset is being used by a not-for-profit organisation to provide their services to Territory residents. The House may be aware that the CBF was originally established in 2002 to allow the broader community to benefit from the introduction of gaming machines to pubs and clubs across the Territory. Each month, 10% of the profits of gaming machines operated in pubs, hotels, as well as the 2 Territory casinos are paid into the CBF. This money is then given to not-for-profit organisations to provide services, leisure activities and opportunities to the broader Northern Territory community. Funding from the CBF is distributed via a grant system. Organisations can apply for minor grants, major grants, event grants or vehicle grants. Money is also available for research into gambling subjects that have relevance to the Territory. The majority of funds are expended via minor and major community grants. Minor grants are provided for amounts less than $15,000 and applications are open each month. Major grants can be applied for twice yearly for amounts in excess of $15,000 up to the maximum of $250,000. Event grants support events such as the 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙬𝙬𝙍𝙬 𝙍𝙀𝙬𝙬 Festival and other community celebrations, and can be for multiple years, and vehicle grants provide an ex-ante fleet vehicles option to organisations. Minor grant applications are assessed by the Director of Gaming Control, and major event and vehicle applications are assessed by the CBF Committee. Recommendations are then made to me as the responsible minister for the final decision. Prior to 2021, monies from the CBF were provided to organisations to undertake capital works or improvements on the asset they were operating out of, which included assets owned by the NT government. Following findings in the Treasurer's annual financial report audit process of that year, the Department of Treasury and Finance issued a Treasurer's direction which put a stop to such grants. The direction was in response to the Australian accounting standards, which only allow for a capital grant to be given to the owner of the asset. As some organisations were operating from NT government-owned assets and monies from the CBF are expended by way of a grant, the direction meant that these particular organisations were no longer eligible to apply to the CBF for funding to make improvements or to carry out capital works to that asset. Since that time, a number of organisations have approached my office asking that they be allowed to apply for funding from the CBF to make improvements or carry out capital works on the NT government property that they are operating from. The main reason for these approaches is that the organisations need works undertaken. However, the asset-owning agency are unable to carry out the work due to competing priorities. Madam Speaker, all members present would acknowledge the very important work carried out across the Territory by not-for-profit organisations. They work in partnership with the various levels of government to support our community. This government is committed to doing all it can to help these organisations, and this bill does that by making a small but important amendment to the Act. This bill will amend the Act to allow monies from the CBF to be allocated to an organisation to carry out work on an NT government-owned asset without breaching the Treasurer's direction or the Australian accounting standards. This will allow those organisations to have the work carried out faster and not have to wait until the asset-owning agency has the available resources. This will have a flow-on effect to the services provided by that organisation, helping Territorians and freeing up resources for the agency that owns the asset. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to commend this bill to honourable members and table a copy of the explanatory statement.
The question is that the bill be read a first time. Those of that opinion say aye. To the contrary, no.
Aye.
I think the ayes have it. The clerk.
A bill for an act to amend the Gaming Control Act 1993.